Everybody, welcome to day 3 of our Manifest Maestro challenge. And today we're going to talk about abundance, prosperity, and money. Abundance, prosperity, and money. And before we go into all the nitty-gritty of how these universal principles can be applied in our everyday life so that we can create our own reality and shape our destiny, I want to share with you a story from my own life. So up until recently, I used to run 12 businesses. So I jokingly call it my yoga empire. Roger and I, my husband and I, used to have 7 yoga studios. At the time, we ran this retreat center in Taos, New Mexico. We had a juice bar, and we also had an online yoga platform called Mat to Mat. Plus, we have 2 young children. I volunteered. So we did a lot of volunteering work through our nonprofit organization called Empowered by One Significant Act, and so forth and so on, volunteering at our church. So our life was very, very, very busy. As a matter of fact, I look back and I'm like, dang, I don't know how I was managing all of it. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because in my experience, I used to work really, really hard. Before I opened Yoga One, I used to work in the public accounting firm.
Hi.
So hold on one second. And in the public accounting firm, we had to bill 80 billable hours a week. And honestly, it was nothing compared to running Hey, my daughter's there, Mia. Hi. Mia is at a friend's house right now in Austin. Hi, Van. I'm like, that's my child right there. That's so awesome. I love it. Okay, sorry, that was totally different tangent. So the reason why I'm telling you this, I used to work hard. Owning my own business was like working at a public accounting firm was nothing compared to owning my own business. So working hard, I've done. I've actually worked so much so, but I don't think it's humanly possible to work 80 more than I did. So my days would last, 17, 20-hour days. So that was totally crazy without any days off. So when we sold Yoga One, I still have very big dreams. I have really big desires. One can call it ambitious. I call it really exciting, big, hairy, and audacious goals. And at the same time, I realized that physically it's impossible to work any harder because I've already done that. So then I started thinking, well, there must be a better way. There must be a better way. And then I realized that 2-millimeter adjustment, that little tweak, that quantum leaps you to a completely different level is these subtle, energetic, spiritual laws. And I started doing lots of research. I started reading a lot of books. I attended lots of different seminars on the subject. And this is why, one of the reasons why I'm sharing this information with you, because I deeply believe now that it's not necessary to work hard. Yes, I still do an outstanding job. I still, do a lot of work, actually. As a matter of fact, I work all the time. But yet the feeling sense of it is different than it used to be. It doesn't feel like hard work. And when you lean on these universal laws, when you fully understand them, when you master them, when you embody them, it is my deepest belief that that's when you step into the infinite flow of abundance. And it's no longer hard. It actually, wealth, abundance, money, prosperity starts coming to you with effortless ease. So let me ask you, would you want money, prosperity, and abundance to come to you with effortless ease? Give me some hands up if you're up for that. Or if you want to work hard, really hard, like the way I used to work, give me some hands up. Does anybody want to work really hard? Yeah, working hard is like not so much fun. I prefer effortless ease. So today I want to share with you two universal laws of prosperity, that if you truly understand them and you embody them and you lean onto these laws, I believe that you and we all step into this effortless ease, this flow. And the flow is meant to be easy, right? Everything in nature works with effortless ease. Water flows easily through the river, right? The bumblebee is flying around effortlessly. There is nothing hard. There is no hard work in nature. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So I think the number one key, the foundation of stepping into this infinite flow of abundance, is developing a sense of prosperity and consciously making a point of seeing abundance everywhere. Because you cannot experience abundance unless you see abundance and unless you recognize abundance in everything surrounding you. And from my experience, I don't know about you guys, but from my experience, it took me some conscious effort to start seeing the world through that lens, as opposed to experiencing life from the lens of lack and scarcity, right? And you know, no matter how much money you have in your bank account, if you are living your life from a standpoint of scarcity and lack, it doesn't matter how much money you have. You will continuously experience lack and scarcity no matter what. And also, once you start seeing abundance everywhere, once you start recognizing abundance everywhere, you will start understanding that the universe is always yearning to bring to you everything that you desire. And at this point in my life, I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, everything that I ever wanted, I got. And those things that I thought I wanted and I didn't get, honestly, from this standpoint now, I see that those were not correct things for me. So this is one of my deepest beliefs, that everything that I want, the universe, God, the divinity, is happily giving it to me in a perfect way and in perfect timing. And also, I think that the thing that prevents us from experiencing abundance and everything that we want to experience in our life, it's our own limiting beliefs and our own scarcity programming. It's our own belief in lack, so to speak. So let me give you some illustrations of that. So, of course, not you, but you've heard people say things like, life is hard. Life is so hard. I have to work hard in order to succeed. You have to study hard. You have to, life is so hard. There's continuous struggle and sacrifice for you to succeed. Some people believe that money is the root of all evil, or it's more noble or spiritual to be poor. And these are not necessarily our conscious beliefs. Oftentimes, these are beliefs that are running in the background in our subconscious mind. And that's why over the last couple of days, we talked about the importance of self-inquiry and self-study, because even these subconscious beliefs that are constantly running on the background, through those beliefs, we are creating our own reality. So these limiting beliefs are based on the lack of understanding how the universe truly works. So these are limiting beliefs that they're not correct, they're not true. So, but the truth is that our universe, our world is infinitely abundant. And remember how yesterday we said that we're all a part of one, right? We're a part of one quantum field. We are all interrelated, we're all interconnected. So if you don't believe me, if you can see, look out of the window right now, look at a tree. Like right now, I see a pine tree outside of my window here in Taos, New Mexico. And if I look at this tree, it is absolutely impossible to count all the needles, the pine needles on this tree. There is another tree that is full of leaves. It's impossible to count the leaves on the tree. They're infinitely abundant. Just like it is impossible to count the blades of grass in the lawn, or it's impossible to count the grains of sand on the beach. A couple of weeks ago, we were in San Diego. We did another RV trip to San Diego, and I kept looking at the ocean, and all I could see is this limitless, infinite abundance of the ocean. It's so limitless that it even like goes into the horizon, and it looks as if it's a part of the sky. So now I've trained myself to see the world through the lens of abundance. Just like it used to be my incantation, but now, you know, first, in other words, first it was a conscious effort, right? I repeated the incantation, and now it's a part of my being. It's the part of the way I live my life. So it's something like, anytime I take a deep breath in, I step into the flow of effortless ease and infinite abundance. So would you like that? Take a deep breath right now and just feel it viscerally. When you take a deep breath, you truly get to experience and embody effortless ease, right? Breathing is effortless. Breathing to me also means abundance, right? I can breathe as much as I want, and it's my innate God-given gift. So do you see how I've programmed my mind? It was a conscious choice to create this rule for myself. Anytime I take a deep breath in, I step into the flow of effortless ease and infinite abundance. So now whenever I'm stressed out, or whenever I find myself in this lack or scarcity mentality, all I need to do is take a deep breath in. So tonight, I'm going to email you one of my favorite meditations, and it's called Stepping into the Infinite Ocean of Abundance. The meditation, I love meditation. I've shared this with you many, many times. So I'm going to share this meditation technique with you, this practice with you, and it really helped me see the world through the lens of abundance. So in order to experience abundance, in order to radiate and attract abundance, you first need to recognize it everywhere. And remember, yesterday we talked about how energy is magnetic. It's one of the universal laws. When abundance is your innate state, it's your energetic vibration. Energy is magnetic. There can be no other way. When you internally feel abundance, more abundance will show up in your life. And it's not only in form of money. It's, you know, abundance of love, abundance of joy, abundance of blessings, miracles, good breaks coming to you. So abundance of everything will start showing up in your life. And that's when you start walking through your life with effortless ease, instead of life being this hard experience. Like dating is hard, marriage is hard, raising children is hard, succeeding is hard. You know, my wish for you is to experience effortless ease and abundance in everything that you do. So today I wanted to share with you two universal laws, and these universal laws are interrelated and interconnected. So the first law is the law of circulation. Now remember, these are the universal laws, meaning whether or not you believe in it is just like the law of the law of physics, you know, like the law of gravity. These laws work regardless of whether or not you believe in these. So yesterday, you know, we talked how the universe is made up of energy. The universe is made of pure energy, and energy is meant to flow. Everywhere, energy is meant to flow. So in your body, you've probably heard this many, many times, the energy is flowing through your body, and whenever the energy is not flowing, that's when we get sick. That's when we get chronic illnesses. That's when we get disease. So the energy is meant to flow freely. So the same with money, right? Since we're talking more about prosperity, abundance in terms of money today, money is called cash flow. It is meant to flow. Now, a lot of times people will start hoarding and holding on and clinging to their money and their possessions. And whenever you cling, you prevent that flow, you stop that flow, you fall out of that infinite flow of abundance, money, prosperity, the flow of energy in your life. So when we truly understand this universal law, the law of circulation, then we're able to give and receive freely. We never lose anything, but we constantly gain. We never lose anything, but we constantly gain. So if a part of your vocabulary is, oh, I spend money. So instead of saying I spend money, because if you spend money, if you look at your money as you're spending money, that money becomes finite, right? When you spend money, at some point you end up with no money. Instead, look at it like circulating money, right? So if you're buying a pair of new shoes, you're circulating money, you're circulating energy, you're giving something, and in return, you're receiving joy and pleasure of wearing these beautiful shoes. Are you with me? So look at it differently. Look at it as a circulation of money, as a flow of money, a flow of energy. Similar to breathing, right? We inhale and we exhale. You cannot only inhale. So try that. Inhale, 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 inhale. At some point, if you continue inhale, you're going to burst, right? So at some point, you have to exhale. That's a universal law. It's a law of physics, right? It's a law of nature. You inhale and you exhale. You breathe with effortless ease. The same with money, the same with any type of energy. You inhale and you exhale. If you're following me, give me some hands up right now. Give me some jazz hands. There's a circulation of money, circulation of energy, and abundance and prosperity. I believe it's important for us to look at the entire world, the entire universe, as that infinite flow of energy. So the more you give, the more you receive. The more you give, the more you receive. And that outflow of energy can be anything from the outflow of love, the outflow of appreciation, affection, giving compliments, acknowledging people, the outflow of money, material possessions. Are you with me? So I have a funny story to tell you. Years ago, I went to dinner with a bunch of girls, and we were talking about our husbands. You know, most of us were newly married. And I remember one of my friends said, well, I never give my husband any compliments, because if I give him too many compliments, his head is going to get really big and he's going to think too high of himself. And I was like, well, isn't that interesting? You know, it's like, in a way, it's hoarding, right? It's hoarding your compliments, your affection and love. Like with my husband, I'm always, every day I tell him how amazing he is. And the more I tell him how amazing he is, how I admire different qualities about him, how he's great at this and that, like the more he wants to like do those things, and like then he believes in himself, and he's like growing and evolving, and he's becoming a better person, a better father, a better husband, you know. But also like giving compliments wholeheartedly is also the outflow of energy. Do you guys see it? So for those of you newlyweds, Lenny, give your husband lots of compliments, like wholehearted compliments. And I remember like when I was newly married, it felt like really weird in a way to like give him compliments for no reason. So to me, it took some practice, right? The first time I said it, I was like, hey, it sounds kind of weird. But now it's like, it's a second nature for me to tell my mom compliments, my employees, I give them compliments all day long. I tell them all day long, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're so incredible. I tell my employees here in TAS, I'm like, you are my godsend. Like, I deeply appreciate you. Thank you. So in a way, like as I was getting ready for tonight's call, I was like, oh, that's an outflow of energy. I'm stepping into the flow. So the more you give, the more you receive. This is also one of my incantations, this crazy things that I do every morning. Like, the more I give, the more I receive, the more I give, the more I receive, the more energy I extend, the more energy I get, the more energy I extend, the more energy I get. Like, I say it over and over again. So in a way, it's also programming your brain. So your homework for today. So for a lot of you, maybe for some of you, it's like second nature. You just woke up like this. Like I told you guys, for my husband, Roger, a lot of these universal laws, he just woke up like this. Maybe it is his upbringing. For me, it requires more of a conscious effort to step into the flow. So I believe that, like, at least for me, I have to make a conscious effort before it becomes my second nature. So your homework for today is to make a list of people to whom you would like to outflow your love and appreciation, your acknowledgement. And maybe it's just a short list of people, and then think about how you can outflow your love and appreciation towards them. It can be as simple as text them, call them, buy them flowers, send them a little gift, or just tell them a compliment. You know, at a dinner table, when all four of us sit down, sometimes we go through this like little simple game where we say what I appreciate about you. We'll say, okay, everybody, we're going to tell Dad what we deeply appreciate about him or what we love about him. And sometimes our kids are like, oh, Mom, I hate that stupid game. But, you know, we kind of make them. I'll confess, we make them tell each other compliments because I believe it requires conscious effort. You know, you have to remember to acknowledge your loved ones. Otherwise, like, you take your loved ones for granted. So we do this game often. You can do that game. So at 4 o'clock in the morning, when I meditate and I pray, I also, it's like it's a part of my daily ritual. I actually learned it from Jessie Jetzler. Do you know the Thinks lady? Sarah Blakely, her husband, he actually shared it in one of his talks that I listened to. He's like, every day I take a phone and I text 3 people. So all it takes is like 5 minutes to text these 3 people, but I text them and say like, hey, I'm thinking about you. Thank you so much for that one thing that you did. Or like, hey, you know, that thing that you shared, that story you shared with me 3 years ago, it inspired me so much that I often think about it. So all it takes is just a couple of minutes, but in a way you're outflowing your energy, but you're also acknowledging and you are loving on that person. So you can, if you want to, you can make that a part of your daily ritual as well. Some other examples of the outflow of energy can be give away your knowledge or share with others all those things that inspire you and light you up. So to me, these challenges that I lead from time to time, whenever I feel like super inspired by something, I will organize a challenge and I'll share this gift with you. It gives me a tremendous joy and pleasure to share this with you. And I want to believe that I'm helping you and I'm inspiring you because this stuff is so inspirational and empowering to me. Tithe your income, right? Like in the church, you know that, like tithing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be 10%. You can tithe 1% of your income. And again, well, these days we don't go to church because of COVID. So now, like over the last 2 weeks, I was actively looking for places to like support others. So I support my family. I support Special Olympics that Roger's nephew is doing. You know, I always consciously look for places where I want to donate money, especially, I'm going to tell you, especially when I'm like rolling out something big, like a new project. So before I do that big rollout, I always look for places to give and support and to gift money to. And then be creative. Be creative. Think of other ways to create more outflow, because the more you give, the more you receive. And this is actually a nice segue to the second universal law, which is the vacuum law of prosperity. And they go both hand in hand together. And the vacuum law of prosperity states that nature abhors the vacuum. Nature abhors the vacuum. In other words, vacuum doesn't exist in nature. So another way of looking at it is when you give something, the law of circulation, whenever you give something away, you create space for something new, right? And the nature, the universe works in such a way that that space will eventually will fill up with something. And what I add to that is using that creative visualization method that we talked about yesterday. When you give something, always set an intention. So this is different than exchange, right? So it's not like horse trading. Rather, I look at it as an intention. When I give something away, I expect a miracle. I expect a huge blessing. It's not, what I want you to hear, it's not a trade. Are you with me? So I don't know if Kiara is here with us, but when we did our abundance, oh, here she is. When we did our abundance challenge back in May, remember how I said, you know, when you give something, let's say this purse, right? I can take this purse and I can sell it for $100. Let's say it's a very nice purse. So in a way, it's an exchange happen. When I sell that purse for $100, that's all I'm going to get back for that purse. As opposed to if I give this purse away, I take it to the Salvation Army, or I gift it to a friend who I know would really appreciate this purse. In a way, I'm keeping it open-ended. Instead of just getting $100, which is nice, but not like, it can be even bigger. Something even bigger than just $100. So when you just give something and you keep it open-ended, the universe always gives you so much more in return. Are you with me? Give me some hands up if you're following me. So let me give you some other examples, because I tend to learn from examples. So the vacuum law of prosperity. So when I was younger, I like to give this example. When I was younger, I would date some guys that I knew were not for me. You know, I knew that this guy was like ultimately not the one, but I would date him anyway. Like maybe because I didn't want to be lonely, but also in my mind I thought, well, I'll date this guy until I meet the guy. You know, what I didn't understand is I wasn't gonna meet the guy. As long as I was dating this guy, I was going to say this loser. But you know, so that's also the vacuum law of prosperity. In order for us to experience something that we truly desire, we first need to make space for it. I'll give you another example. So when we led 7 yoga studios, Yoga One, you know, our team consisted of 150 employees. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, we ran a very tight ship. It was very important for us all to be aligned, because we believed wholeheartedly when our team is aligned behind one mission, one goal, one higher purpose, then we truly become unstoppable. And when we started growing, our team was 150 employees. Inevitably, some people would just like kind of like do their own thing, or they would maybe their interest would change and they would start pulling in a different direction. Are you following me? Give me some hands up. You know, maybe they wanted to do something else, or maybe they were no longer 100% aligned with us. And we kind of like tolerated, we kind of closed our eyes a lot of times or looked in the different direction. But also, you know, once in a while we would hug back in. So we'd like roll out a new guideline saying, I don't know, say for example, you can only exclusively teach at Yoga One. It's just an example. And then those people who didn't want to teach exclusively at Yoga One, they would naturally just leave, right? And whenever they left, which in a way was a clearing, right? We always created space for the people who were 100% aligned with us. And because of that, the synergy of energy, I truly believe this was one of the reasons Yoga One was so successful, is because we very consciously cultivated the sense of being 100% aligned behind one higher purpose. And that gave us a lot of momentum, a lot of synergy, a lot of synchronicity to move powerfully, quickly towards one direction, as opposed to when everybody's pulling in different directions. Are you with me? So I jokingly, but not really jokingly, I said, hey, there will be no weeds in my garden. There will be no weeds in my garden. To this day, as a business owner, this is one of my rules. There will be no weeds in my garden. I'm not going to tolerate mediocrity. Let me give you one more last example about the vacuum of prosperity. So, you know, guys, like looking back, like I told you yesterday, I've developed my intuition consciously over the last, 10, 15 years. So a lot of the things that I do in my life are very intuitive. And then only years later, I go back and I learn something. I'm like, oh, but I did it on my own. I didn't even know about these laws. I just did it because I followed my intuition. So when we sold Yoga One 3 years ago, then we kind of went on a roll. We sold our house. We sold our duplex that we own next door. We got rid of all of our possessions. We like literally took loads of truckloads to the Salvation Army. And then we also like put stuff on the street and put on Craigslist free furniture. And people would show up in 15 minutes and just take it all. So in a way, I didn't even know that, but we created a giant vacuum. We just like cleared it all. We cleared our business, we cleared our home, we cleared all of our physical possessions. We didn't even know that. We just kind of just did it. But we created such a huge vacuum in a way, subconsciously or intuitively, to create space for a new chapter of our lives. I don't have all this shit figured out. You guys, I still don't know what I'm doing, but I trust that the universe, these universal laws are working. As a result, we had an incredible time traveling around the world with our children. We had so much fun. And I truly believe that this law is still in effect in my life as I'm creating different trainings and seminars, as I'm taking my retreat center to new places. Okay, let's take a deep breath. Always set an intention. Always set an intention. So as you're creating space, set an intention of what you want to invite into your life. So as I was giving away my worldly possessions when I sold Yoga One, honestly, my intention was, I just want to feel free. I want to have fun, and I want to love and connect with my family. That was my only intention. But you see how the intention was a high vibration intention? Okay. So your homework also will be, start with something small. You can take your phone and delete old pictures. You don't need 50 selfies. The same selfies, like one is doing this and the other is doing that. I promise you, you don't need 50 of them. Delete like 48 of them. So I guarantee you have like 1 million selfies on your phone that you'll never look at. So delete old pictures because you're creating space. Delete old emails. Go through your contacts and delete that old boyfriend that you haven't spoken to in the last 25 years. He doesn't need to take bandwidth on your phone, ladies. Are you with me? So just clean out your phone. So you can do it one day. The next day you can go through your closet and organize your shoes. Donate some old shoes that you haven't worn in the last 15 years. Or take your wallet and organize your wallet. Some wallets are full of receipts that they're bursting. Like it would be one thing, it was like $100 bills, but they're freaking old receipts from 3 years ago. Let that stuff go, throw it away. Organize your wallet. You can organize your pantry. So it seems like such a simple and mundane thing, but it's also working the vacuum law of prosperity. You're creating space. And what happens when you clean up your house, you can even breathe more freely. If you're with me, give me some hands up. It just feels good. It becomes like the energy of the place becomes different. So I'll tell you guys, like I told you that I'm writing a book right now. So before I even sit down, maybe it's superstition, I don't know. But before I sit down to work, I actually tidy up the room. I fold all the clothes, I make the bed, I make it all clean, and then I start writing. I take out the trash, like I clean everything so everything is organized and clean so I can think more clearly. So it's also putting into effect this vacuum law of prosperity. Okay, so I'm also going to share with you a course that I led, I think 2 or 3 years ago. I read one of the books, I think it was John Assaroff book. And I was so inspired by his book that I created this course. It's called The Universal Laws that will help you transform your life. So I'm going to email you that course tonight. And I think it has 3 videos, 1 hour, 45-minute videos that go deeper into different universal laws. And once you hear them, I mean, you all intuitively know about these laws, but once you learn how to apply these laws into your everyday life or apply them consciously, mindfully, with more awareness, then everything starts shifting. I'll share that course with you. Okay, and then like I just want to offer you guys so much more content because like I can say only this much in an hour. There is another course that many of you have done with me back in May. It's called the Abundance Challenge. It's a 5-day abundance challenge, just absolutely free. Both of these courses are free, by the way. I think the link to that course is in that page that I shared with you, but I'm going to send it to you again. So in 5 different sessions, I talk about how to apply these laws to money and how to step into the flow of money in your life, right? So I go deeper into all of these laws and I share that with you. Okay, any questions? Does anybody have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
I think I put it in the chat, but in case
sorry,
you
I haven't looked at the chat.
Yeah, I'm just curious if you say your intention out loud, or if it's something that you just say to yourself or to the universe quietly, or.
Yeah. So, Lori, I usually journal. I write down my intention. If you have people in your life who support you wholeheartedly, like I tell Roger, because I know he's got my back, I'll tell him. But I wouldn't tell it to my brother, for example. You know, like, so be selective who you share your intention with. Just because some people just may not understand you fully. So I always journal and then I share it with my husband. Sometimes with my mom, it depends. But I do believe that when you say it out loud, you declare it into the universe, you give it more power. There is something to it. So it says like, you mark my word, Roger Rippey, you know, I'll do this, or I'll write that book, Roger Rippey. So I'll say it jokingly like that, but I do believe that when we speak it out loud, we give it more energy. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Good question. Cindy, today I'm forcing my husband of 10 years to delete his fiance. Is it pictures? Yeah, girl, it's time. I love it. Do you guys have?
I have a question.
Yes.
What was the name of the course that you told us you were going to send us? Those 2 courses. One of them was
Yeah, here I'm just gonna drop it in the window for you guys.
Abundance Challenge and something else.
Yeah, here. I'll just drop it for you. You can save it under your favorites. So this one is the abundance law, universal laws. There are 3 videos in there that I created when I was in Tuscany 2 years ago. And the second one is the Abundance Challenge. And it's on my homepage. I'm going to send it to you right now. 5-day Abundance Challenge. I did it just in May. And a lot of you did it with me. And because I'm a freak, I usually, honestly, I'm just going to tell you, since you already heard my incantations video, so there is nothing else to hold back, y'all. So when I was getting ready for this call, I looked at the Universal Laws videos. I realized that even though I freaking made that course, I forgot about it. So I spent the afternoon watching my own videos. I'm like, dang, this stuff is good. Like, I didn't even want to step away from my own videos because I already forgot. It's been 2 years. So I like to come back to the same, my own content, you know, and of course, other people's content over and over again. Okay, so while you're thinking of other questions, let me tell you about something that I'm really excited about, and you already got an email about that, and it's my new course that I'm rolling out on Monday. It's called Become a Manifest Coach. So I think it was Gabrielle Bernstein that said that. She said something to the extent of, if you truly want to master something, start teaching it. If you truly want to master something, start teaching it, which is counterintuitive. Most people think that they need to truly perfect and master something before they can start teaching it. I believe, I like intuitively know that in order for me to master something, I have to teach it. Because like every time before I prepare for these calls, right? I remember something. I have epiphanies every single time. So Become a Manifest Coach is a course where we go deeper. So this is a course where we all together start shaping our destiny. We go deeper into all the things that we talked about here, but even more so. So we'll clear blocks to our abundance. We'll work on attracting our soulmate client, soulmate partner. If you already have your partner, it's how can we evolve that relationship even more. We'll work on our subconscious mind. So I share with you lots of different techniques, how to tap into our subconscious mind, because I think it's like 10% of our brain, we use only 10% of our brain or something crazy like that. 90% of our brain is completely beyond our awareness. So I teach you different techniques how to tap into your subconscious mind, because your subconscious thoughts and habitual patterns of thinking absolutely create your reality. Most of us are completely unaware of what's going on there. Oh, I'm going to do a miracle integration. Some of you have seen miracle integration, and some of you have already done a miracle integration. I do a miracle integration on myself about once every year or so. So a miracle integration, it usually takes like a long time, like 3 or 4 hours, but it truly is a miracle. So in a miracle integration, you clear all the glitching, and then you integrate the goal, or you integrate the dream into your physical, emotional, spiritual body, so that you become literally turned on for the goal. So much so that once you are turned on for the goal, it becomes like a law of attraction. You just start pulling, attracting on the subconscious, not only conscious, but on the subconscious level. It just has no other way but become that reality for you. Kathleen, did that shit work on you, girl? Kathleen, I'm looking at Kathleen because I did a miracle integration on her years ago.
Yes, my marriage happened.
Yes, happily married and all that amazing stuff. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
No, I'm glad you did. It was awesome. I'm so excited, like hearing about it again.
Yes, so we're going to do miracle integration. We'll do vision work and goal setting. And then I'm also going to spend some time on the business side of things. And that's where I'm going to share with you how to identify your soulmate client, how to sell from your soul. Because a lot of us, you know, if you're here in some way, you may not have your own business, right? But you are a spiritual being. So I call my businesses, I call myself a spiritual entrepreneur, a spiritual entrepreneur. So Become a Manifest Coach course is about being a spiritual entrepreneur. So a lot of us get fascinated with an idea. Maybe for some of you, like I see Whitney here, Annie, you know, we are all like Joanne, right? Our passion. We have our passion, and we're so lit up by that passion, and we want to offer that gift into the world. But where we need support is the business side of things, right? Like the marketing and selling, right? And like organizing shit. Because stuff that doesn't just sell, you have to set it up. So I spend time to teach you how to organize it, how to, you know, market and sell your offerings. Because no matter how amazing your offering is, if you're not marketing it, if you're not promoting it, nobody knows about it. And then what happens is you have all this passion, but then you don't know how to market and promote it, and nobody shows up, and then you start doubting yourself. Oh, well, maybe nobody wants it. And then you start doubting your higher purpose. And then, like, if you're not making any money, if you're struggling financially, then you just get deeply depressed. I've been there myself. I know that dance really, really well. So in this course, I'm going to teach you how to set up courses online, how to create 100% automation. You know, so most of you, once you signed up for this course, you got an automatic email, right? Most of you, a couple of you got lost. But like all of that automation is like set up in such a way that you can make money in your sleep. You know, one of my intentions after I sold my business, I was like, there got to be a better way. So I want to make money in my sleep. So this course, I'll teach you how to make money in your sleep. Okay, so anyway, the course starts on Monday, this coming Monday, and it's going to be Monday and Wednesday nights. I think we meet for 4 hours for a couple of weeks. So I'm going to drop a link for you. You're welcome to ask me any questions about the manifesting challenge, whatever it is that we talked about, or this course that we start on Monday. Bring it on, guys.
Albina, I just wanted to say thank you, because taking your last course with like the sequencing and all of that has helped me so much to be able to develop tennis specific sequences. And now I was legitimately asked today, like this morning, I got an email from my country club asking me if I would be willing to go teach there, which is a manifestation in itself. So
Yay!
thank
Awesome.
you.
It's my pleasure, Cindy, and huge congratulations. That's so exciting. Manifesting that shit. Yes. You know what happens, you guys? So these laws work on many different dimensions. One dimension is once you know clearly what it is that you want, all the forces of the universe align and they make it happen. Another what happens is once you know what you want, you become more confident, right? You get the sense of confidence, like, oh, this is my passion actually. This is what I want to do. This is what lights me up. Identifying that passion also engages the forces in the universe, and it becomes a law of attraction. So a lot of this work is just clearing the glitches. So, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I don't know enough. Oh, I don't have enough experience. Oh, I'm not good at selling. Oh, I'm not good at... We clear all that stuff. So without all that static, you become a channel. Like we talked about, 4 stages of spiritual development. You become a channel for the divine to express itself without all that BS static. I'm not good. I'm not this. I don't have that. Oh, the economy. I don't have the money. Oh, I don't have the experience. Oh, I'm too young. Oh, I'm too old. Okay. Anybody else? Hi.
Can
Oh, you can go, Whitney.
I was just curious about the vision work part of it.
What's your question, Whitney? You want to know more details?
I'm pretty stoked about it, honestly. I like it all, so I don't want to waste time asking because I know I'm gonna go in to do it anyway. So and the days work Monday and Wednesday. So
You're not wasting anybody's time. As a matter of fact, let me tell you the story. So bear with me, all the people who've already told the story. I consider this story a miracle story, and it's about the vision meditation. So for years, all these years that we ran Yoga One, every year we did ski and yoga retreat here in Taos, New Mexico, and it always was around New Year's. It coincided with the end of one year and the beginning of the next year. So vision and goals work is what I did. Whether or not you came to ski and just chill and drink wine by the fireplace, you got my vision and goals training, coaching, because I so deeply believed in it. So every year, Raj and I would do the vision meditation together with everybody. And this is the time we got a total download. I call it the download from God. It literally went almost like, Albina, do X, Y, and Z. It was anything like roll out this new class, open this location in this part of town, do this or that, like it was specific like that. So on the New Year's Eve of 2017, we led our retreat, and then, we were driving back to Houston, and I'm telling Roger, I'm like, honey, something really weird happened. Like Yoga One was no longer, it was not a part of my vision. Like I'm freaking out right now. Every year I get instruction manual, this is what to do. And this year I saw nothing. And Roger was like, the same, dude, same, hashtag same. So we were like, what does it mean? And I remember Roger joked, he was like, we must have sold it. I was like, get out of here. Like, who can walk in and buy 7 yoga studios, right? And then literally 2 days later, he went to teach at Yoga One Heights. Many of you have practiced there. And this guy shows up from California, and he comes to Roger, and he's like, hey, dude, have you ever considered selling your yoga studios? And Roger's like, as a matter of fact, just 2 days ago, my wife and I, for the first time ever, even entertained the idea. And he goes, hey, dude, you should check out Yoga Works. They're expanding, and their expansion plan is to buy a bunch of successful yoga studios across the country. Roger Googled that, made one phone call, and 2 weeks later, we were sitting at a table with the CEO and the general counsel of Yoga Works. 10 months later, we sold all 7 studios. 2 years later, coronavirus wiped out 70% of yoga studios across the world. So, people say, hey, was that always your plan? I'm like, I'm not that smart. I'm really not that smart. I mean, I'm pretty all right. Like I slay, but I'm not that smart. It was all divine guidance. It was all divine guidance. I have no other explanation to that. And that's a part of the vision meditation that I'm going to teach, a part of the Become a Manifest Coach. So goal setting comes from seeing that vision and going backwards from your vision, your chosen future, back to this present moment. Was that enticing enough story for you, Whitney? Yeah. I love telling that story. Yes. Well, that's all I've got for you guys. Any other questions? Yes, I don't know who's talking, but go ahead, ask your question.
So if I don't really plan on becoming a coach, but I really want it personally,
Yeah.
is this going to be something that I should wait for something different?
No, you don't have, look, it's just like in teacher trainings. We get people coming to our yoga teacher trainings and they say, oh, I don't really want to teach yoga. I just want to deepen my yoga practice. I don't really want to become a manifest coach. I just am interested in manifesting. And then they go through the training and they're like, dang, I want to teach yoga. So you never know. You may be at the end of this training be like, not only are you going to deepen, absolutely, you're going to hone your manifesting powers. I guarantee you, I promise you that. I'm willing to bet my right arm on that, actually, because I believe in the shit. But it's possible that somewhere, you know, halfway midpoint, you're going to be like, dang, I'm so inspired. Like all this magic is happening in my life. I want to share it with others. And it's possible. I'm not saying like you're not, but it's possible that you're going to be like, I'm going to start teaching my friends and family. Maybe one day it becomes my business. Maybe one day I just start making money in my sleep. Seriously.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, if you want to truly master something, start teaching it.
I just want to piggyback right that because when I entered this, it was a friend telling me this would, you know, get you where you need to be. And I did the 200 hours and I was just sucked into it because it made my heart just glow and grow. And right now, as we're doing this, my husband's sitting there listening to me and he's like, we're doing that. So we're actually doing the couples thing because he's observing the changes within me. And that's the power that I realized that I didn't want to do this. I didn't have a set plan. I just knew that I had to surrender. And I'm looking at it not just for me, but for my family, my father telling me, my son telling me, and my husband saying, I'm signing up for that class. Yeah. He's a totally non-believer. So it is so manifesting. Thank you and Roger.
It's my pleasure, Cindy. And this is why we are the creators of our own reality. You know, a lot of times we think, oh, it's that other person. It's my husband. He doesn't understand me. He doesn't believe in this. But you do the work on yourself and miraculously, I cannot explain it, but the shifts, like these changes ripple into every area of your life. Your relationship with your husband starts changing. Your relationship with your children starts changing. Like all this, I call it the gates of abundance, the flood of abundance. It comes like, it starts coming into your life like in avalanches of abundance. Would you want avalanches of abundance coming into your life? Give me some jazz hands. Anybody? Yeah, so it may not happen just like that, although it does. But I promise you, it has a huge effect on your life. I mean, if I didn't believe it, I wouldn't be sitting here sharing this magic with you. I mean, I could be sitting Netflixing and chilling right now. You know what I mean? I could be watching Sex and the City for the 50th time in a row. Like, but I feel so strongly about it that I want to share it with you because I want you to experience the results of this work. All right. Any questions? Last chance.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, sweetheart.
I just want to say bye.
Bye, honey. Have fun with
Bye.
your friend in Austin.
I will.
You beautiful girl.
Oh,
Thank you. Mom, Dad just took pictures and he sent you a video if like what you want in your closet.
okay.
Great.
Thanks.
Say goodbye.
Bye, Mom.
All right, guys, I'm going to unmute you all so we can say bye to everybody. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I love you all.
so much.
Bye. Thank you.